Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram or TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Scorpio, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The first one is the Chalks of King Congo Oracle deck that was just gifted to me. It's so beautiful. And another beautiful deck that was gifted to me, Nefertiti's Tarot, for your tarot reading. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. What messages do you have for Scorpio, please? Spirits, angels, guides. What messages do you have? Thank you. Worldly work. Worldly work. This is so interesting because immediately I think of a weather vane. Do you know what that is? That's the directional. Usually it looks like a rooster. It sits on top of a roof or on top of a post. It's a rooster and it has like an arrow and it kind of spins around to indicate to the viewer which direction the wind is blowing. And the wind is it's howling today. You probably will be able to hear it on the video. It's very windy today. I'm given the song, Spirit gave me the song, Any Way the Wind Blows, the line from Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. That song has been really permeating my consciousness lately. Bohemian Rhapsody. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me. It's kind of a brutal song, but it's such a classic. That song, well, first and foremost, if you haven't heard that song, Scorpio, come on. Where are we right now if we haven't heard Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen? But that song is about having made some mistakes, costly mistakes, and I don't know, trying to find redemption, but then leaning into that mistake even more. There could be something to it for you, Scorpio, where you're coming to grips with the fact that you're a human being, that you're not perfect, that I feel like you're in this space where you're just ready to fully embrace who you are, surrender to that person, right? It's not to say that we're not constantly striving to be the best version of ourselves, but I think that what you might consider the lesser version of yourself, you're no longer allowing that version to hold you back or hold you to be ashamed or embarrassed or regretful, resentful. That's where the worldly work comes in for me, right? Because we move from the worldly work to the spiritual work. That's what I see here. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. past, present, future. And at the end, I will pull a card of advice from Spirit, as well as read from the book regarding worldly work. 3 cards are out, all in reverse. I do read reversals. Reversals are not bad. It's just a way to indicate to me how to interpret the card. It gives it a little bit more depth for me as a reader. 2 10s, 2 4s. The past energy, you got the 10 of Cups in the reverse. 10 of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, water signs, water element. 10 of Cups usually talks about blissfulness, that we've achieved the height of heights in terms of what makes us happy, what fuels our heart space, our heart chakra. This place of happiness and joy. Things that are fulfilling, things that also contribute back to society. What's what Spirit just said? Contribute. Like, anytime you find yourself in a place of happiness and you share that happiness with the people in your life, you are absolutely contributing to society. Like, really, like, one person can make a difference. One person can certainly make a difference in the opposite direction. Who is to say that for the side of the good guys, right? One person can make a difference. If you are really in the space of gratitude and you're sharing that gratitude with others, then they share it with others. I mean, it just starts this beautiful chain reaction. In the past energy, though, this card was in reverse, which is not to say that you're not grateful, but it is to say that perhaps all the cups have been pouring out into other people's cups, all your cups. Somehow, maybe you found some of them empty, right? And then you had to take a hard and fast stance. The King of Swords, Gemini energy. King of Swords, by the time we get to the King, so the tarot is made up of 4 suits. The Swords suit is air energy, the air element, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. The suits run from Ace to 10, and then you have the court cards, Page, Knight, Queen, King. By the time we get to the King, he's lived a life, it's a divine masculine. Doesn't have to talk about gender, it just talks about energy. He's been through it. He's been through the disappointment. He's been through the hardship. He's been through the 3 a.m. thoughts, the worries. And now he's at this place of discernment because he has the wisdom to back him up. So in this past energy, you know, all of this outward emotional love energy that you could have been pouring out to other people, I think you realized, I've got to cut that off. I've got to cut that out. It's not to say you're not still giving to people, but you're going to give to people who are reciprocal. And you're making no bones about it. You're not overly emotional about it. Enough is enough, I just heard. Enough is enough. Part of the worldly work, right? Understanding boundaries. Hard and fast boundaries. 2 cards came out to clarify this. The Page of Wands, 8 of Swords in reverse. Page of Wands and the 8 of Swords both in reverse. Wow, that 8 of Swords is trippy, isn't it? What's going on here? Look at how big that belly is. Eight of Swords talks about analysis paralysis. Hear the wind. The wind is speaking today. Being trapped and bound in our own thoughts. This card is in reverse. You make no bones about it, right? Again, there could have been years of your life that you spent worrying about other people, other things, other situations. This card in reverse is like, no more. Page of Wands in the reverse talks about this lack of an impetus to move any further. Like in the upright, the Page of Wands is somebody who's really excited about trying something new, getting to know somebody new, putting themselves out there. And I see this as just like literally the the King of Swords is just cutting things out. It's like cord cutting. I'm done and I'm done. And we're done. We're done overfilling other people's cups and leaving our own to get dusty and dry. Not doing that anymore. Again, the worldly work. Though part of the worldly work is karma, you know? Living out some of these karmic connections. Breaking cycles, Spirit just said, for sure, for sure. 10 is very significant in your reading today. I just want to say. Very significant. So you got 2 10 cards, but you also got a 6 and a 4 for the present energy. 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands in reverse. That's a 10. So you could be seeing 10, 10, 10. If you see 10, 10, 10 or 10, 10 somewhere, like your spirit guides are trying to speak to you. Pay attention to your surroundings. Think about what you were thinking about in that moment that you saw the number synchronicity. Spirit is speaking to you. These 2 cards in reverse. 6 of Pentacles talks about reciprocity and equal give and take. 4 of Wands talks about firm foundations. You got both of these in reverse in the present energy. There could be a lot in your life that is up in the air. Could be your stability, your finances. Losing a little bit of, like my throat is getting congested. The messages are getting stuck. The throat chakra is getting stuck. It could be hard to talk about. This sense of unfairness, I feel a little bit of unfairness. Like I put so much out there, right? I gave so much to other people. When is it going to be my turn to reap the rewards, the benefits of what I put out into the world? You could be asking yourself that right now. All I want is stability. All I want is a firm foundation. All I want is to be able to provide for myself and the people that I love. Nothing wrong with that. That's what could be in question right now in the air. Could be in flux for you. You got the Strength card in reverse. Number 11, excuse me. In this deck, it's the number 11. Leo energy. Strength card in reverse can talk about a questioning of what we stand for, our identity, looking at our fears. Who am I without this job, without this person, without this life, without this title, what have you? I feel as though the present energy is full of flux for you. Try your best, though, to be cognizant of the fact that this is temporary. This present energy is teaching you lessons. It's part of the worldly work. Remember, I was talking about karmic lessons. It's almost like the faster you embrace those lessons, the faster you move through them. Very difficult to say, or easy to say and difficult to do. So I do not for a second take for granted the fact that, like, this is not easy what you're dealing with right now. It's very clear to me. It's struggle. It feels like struggle. How can Scorpio work through this struggle? King of Wands in the reverse. This is a tough lesson, Scorpio. I hope that you're still with me, but it's very simple. The King of Wands in reverse, Spirit just said, is just a little bit of humility. Yikes. That's tough. Because the King of Wands in the upright, very self-confident, very knows who they are, what they're doing, goes after what they want. In the reverse, though, it's kind of like the debilitated version of that card. So there's this humbling that is happening right now. And it's not a humbling that you asked for. No one ever asked for it. We all have been through it. No one asked for it. To this, I hear some of you saying, like, what are you talking about? Humble. Look at what I did in my past. I put other people before myself. But then you got to ask yourself, you know, and this is a really hard thing. I'm a water sign too, you know, like I had to ask myself this really tough question. You know, do you do things for other people for them or for you? Is it because you're sincere and you sincerely want to help them, or is it because you like to be needed? Now, I don't know where you fall on that, but Spirit wanted me to put it out there. There is nothing wrong with, like, putting yourself out there for others, but if it's become the thing that, like, you pride yourself with, it's not good, because people are just going to continue to take, and they're going to continue to not give back, not be reciprocal, and then what happens to you? You become resentful, and for some, perhaps self-righteous. That is a very, very, that's a harsh message, but this is what I see in the cards. This is what I see. Take it or leave it. Maybe this could be describing somebody else in your life. I don't think so, though. Love you, Scorpio. Okay, in the projected outcome, future outcome, Four of Cups in the reverse, Ten of Wands. Four of Cups in reverse, Ten of Wands. The Four of Cups in the upright talks about complacency and apathy and not seeing the blessings. And you got it in reverse, which shows me you'll get to that breakthrough in no time. It's coming. The breakthrough is coming. Because you're going to release these old narratives, right? Just like you did in the past energy, you're going to continue to do it. This was one methodology. Cutting people or situations out that no longer serve your best and highest good. Great. This, however, is more of an internal process. The Ten of Wands is also known as the card of burden. And it tells me that you're releasing kind of the burden of all the old narratives, of all the old things that you've told yourself. You know, well, I have to be this overly giving person. Otherwise, people won't love me. That's the number one. That's the number one lesson I see here. You're releasing that now. You just heard bollocks. Bollocks. Right? BS. I'm not holding on to that anymore. King of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. To clarify, King of Pentacles is earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Somebody at the top of their game. Nowhere in here, though, is there a suggestion that you can't be abundant, because Spirit is showing it to me in this card. What it does involve, though, is releasing all the old narratives, the old stories you've told yourself, releasing the anxiety, the anxious thoughts, because it's hindering this abundance that wants to come in. By the time we reach the King in the suit of Pentacles, they've gone through the gamut of how to capitalize on their resources. We're not just talking about money. We're talking about networking and opportunity, crucial conversations, I like to call them. Doors opening and knowing when to walk through, knowing when to close them behind you. The King of Pentacles is wise in that way. This is what you have going for you. It's like when you clear the path of all of this bramble and unnecessary energy, you cut it all away, then the road to abundance becomes very easy to traverse. Card of advice from Spirit. One card of advice, please. Thank you. The Star in reverse. Aquarius energy. The star represents wish fulfillment and healing. It's a major arcana, number 17. Spirit is asking you to not gloss over these feelings of what I can only describe as resentfulness, maybe a little bit of bitterness. I feel it. It's preventing you from being forgiving to yourself. It's preventing the Star card from being in the upright. Very strange. My vocal cords have been very strange lately, and I don't know if you could hear that fluctuation in my voice, but it's like when somebody gets choked up, like when they're about to cry. I don't feel any tears. It's just that my vocal cords kind of gave out for a second. I think that you know that this healing process and this forgiveness of yourself is absolutely vital, but it's difficult to do. But Spirit is saying, do the worldly work, do the hard work. It's imperative. I'm going to read from the book, Worldly Work. When physical efforts are absent, spiritual workings, prayers, and spell works are in vain. Rituals do not replace the necessary work. They can only assist. You have to do your part in creating the opportunities that Spirit will use as a catalyst for your blessings. The universe, your ancestors, and your guardian angels can only help you as much as you help yourself. Do the earthly work, then watch the Spirit. Do the earthly work, then watch the Spirit's work. The situation is not related to the spiritual realm. Stop bothering the dead folks with the problems that can and should be handled by the living. Wow. I've never read anything quite like that before in any of these decks. Don't be that person to do a cord-cutting ritual only to be entangled with that man or woman before the moon cycle can even end. Be disciplined and do the work. This is all well within your power. Spirit is with you, but you're the one living your life. So it's about taking charge. That's your reading, Scorpio. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Scorpio.